All right, what is going? No. All right, what is going on, guys? UFC Fight Night, Jan versus Figueiredo has gone and passed, and these are going to be the fights to make after the event. As you can see here on the screen, I have some winners, some losers. We didn't have a whole lot of key fighters on this fight card, so I put all the ones that I felt were important on this fights to make video. We are going to be starting off with Zhang Ming Yang. Got a first round KO over Ozzy Diaz. Doesn't really mean a whole lot. Diaz was making his UFC debut, I believe. Was it on short notice? I don't think it was on short notice. I can't recall. I see some people online already wanting to give some Ming Yang, somebody in the top 15. And even though he has 2 finishes in the UFC, I think he needs one more win over a key opponent that I've selected. If he can beat this guy, which wouldn't surprise me if he could, then give him a shot at somebody in the top 15 in the fight after next. And the guy is Ryan Spann. So Ryan Spann, somewhat trading wins and losses. He's currently not ranked in the top 15, although at one point, I don't recall, I think maybe he was 10. I think it's about the highest he's gotten. So a formerly ranked opponent, hit or miss. Like, he has hit or miss performances. Sometimes he fights and you think he's going to make a title run, and then sometimes he fights and shits the bed. So, very solid opposition. It would be the biggest test of his career thus far. So I think that would be a good fight for him next. And then same Ryan Spann, if he can beat an up-and-coming contender, then I think he would deserve to fight somebody in the rankings again after that. Moving on, Volkan Ozdemir. So I don't have anybody in the box for him. I think Ozdemir, the winner of Anthony Smith and Dominic Reyes, the winner of that fight should fight Volkan Ozdemir next. So whoever wins, I think that's at UFC. Is that the one in December? Is it 310? I think that's when their fight's going down. That's when. Let me check. I want to check. Because if it's too long, I change my mind. But I'm pretty sure it is happening December 7th. UFC 310 fight card. Let's see. Let us see. I could be wrong. I think. Nope, I'm right. Yep, they're on the prelims. Okay. Because I just made a video bitching about it. So, yes. The winner of that fight should fight Volkan Ozdemir next. He's fought a lot of people. So, it was kind of tough to get him a matchup. And I thought, hey, whoever wins that fight, just throw him in there with Ozdemir. Moving up the card, Carlos Ulberg. So, very, competitive fight with Volkan Ozdemir. And I do like the call he made, and that is Khalil Rountree. Give him Khalil Rountree. Rountree, really, to get his title shot, didn't fight super high-level opposition. Like Anthony Smith was the highest level opposition that Khalil Rountree had fought previous to that and won. So I think if Ulberg wants to fight for the title, he needs to get through someone like Khalil Rountree, and then maybe one more win after that, and you can throw him in there in a title shot with whoever's champion. Doesn't really matter. I mean, if Pereira beats Magomed Ankalaev soon, and then those two fight and he wins, honestly, you could just throw Carlos Ulberg in there with Alex Pereira. I don't really want to see, even if Yuri beats Jamal Hill, which apparently is announced, or if Jamal Hill beats Yuri, neither of one of them, they need to put on at least 2 to 3 fight win streak to get a shot at the title again, assuming Pereira is the champion. So, yeah. Moving up the card, Muslim Salihov, spinning back kick KO again. I think they said he's got like a total of 5 spinning back kick KOs on his record. If I remember correctly, that's the graphic they put up. Listen, he's older. I want to give him a fun fight, okay? And I have seen him call this person out recently, and that is Stephen Thompson. To be fair, I did think of this before I saw someone post on Twitter that he called Thompson out. So I don't know if he really did or if it's just a bullshit account. Listen, Steven's like, what is he, 41? He's old. He doesn't really belong in the rankings anymore. His last fight, which was a competitive fight against Joaquin Buckley, got KO'd for the second time in his career. Could Muslim Soldier have KO Stephen Thompson? Yes. But Stephen Thompson was having some success against Joaquin Buckley on the feet. So I don't think he would be totally out of this fight as far as, it's a winnable fight for either guy. Just two veterans. It would be a great striking matchup. Neither one of these is going to grapple. It's going to be a fun fight. You could throw this on a pay-per-view. It would be a great addition to a pay-per-view. Or, if they're getting desperate for like a UFC Apex main event, it's better than Neil Mack. Well, no. I wouldn't put it as a UFC Apex main event. I take that. I recant that statement. Maybe a co-main event of the UFC Apex card. That would be good. But I think this would be a fun fight. Anyway, moving up the card. We have Tabitha Ritchie. Really, she lost. Didn't really do anything in her fight against Yan Xiaonan. This was another one that was tricky to find a matchup for. She's fought so many women ranked in that top 15. Obviously people way up the rankings she hasn't fought. But most of the people that are around her rank or below her, she's fought them already. And I didn't really want to do any rematches. So the only person that I could come up with that was close to her in rank, and I think it would be not a super outrageous fight, is Marina Rodriguez. She's ranked currently, this could change on Tuesday. She's currently ranked one spot above her. I don't know what the rank. I think maybe Tabitha Ritchie's 10 and Marina Rodriguez is 9. I typically don't like giving fighters a step up in the rankings when they've just lost a major step up like that. But when I was taking a look at the rankings, I think everybody, but literally everybody below her, she's already fought. So I just didn't really want to do any rematches. This would be a fresh matchup for the women's strawweight division. And for whatever reason, if the UFC wants to push her, I don't even know if she could win this fight, but it'd be a decent fight. Moving up, Yan Xiaonan calls for a title shot. I don't want to see it. She needs 2 more wins. It was like she had a few moments in that fight, but it was a pretty clear decision for Zhang Weili. I think one more fight, especially with the opponent I've selected, and she wins that fight, give her a title shot. And that will be Tatiana Suarez. If I remember correctly, these two were booked to fight before, and Suarez has pulled out in the past. She's kind of been having injuries a lot over the years. But she's ranked number 1 in the women's strawweight division. I kind of assumed she was going to get a title shot over Yan Xiaonan when they fought her, Zhang Weili and Yan Xiaonan. Obviously, that's not going to happen. That's kind of what it seemed like they were wanting to do because of how dominantly she's been beating these people. But you got, what's her name? Verna Jandiroba. I'm assuming she's going to fight Zhang Weili next. Who knows? They could just throw Tatiana Suarez in there out of nowhere. So they could do that. But I think Verna Jandiroba is going to be fighting Zhang Weili next. And then the winner of Yan Xiaonan, Tatiana Suarez, would be fighting the winner of that, whoever wins the championship fight. I think that'd be a solid fight either way, no matter who it is. Moving up, Deiveson Figueiredo loses to Petr Yan in the main event. Very clearly, very dominant win for Petr Yan. And Figueiredo's kind of in a weird spot where he's kind of older, he's in a lower weight class. I didn't really know what to do with him. Like, there's so many people in the bantamweight division that are kind of on a losing streak and don't really deserve a big step up in competition. So I had to kind of go down a little bit in the rankings to find this. And hopefully you guys don't hate me too much for this. But it's kind of how it works. I got with Mario Batista. So even though I'm mad at him for what happened, Aldo, in the Aldo fight, and I'm not going to 100% blame, what's he supposed to do? Just sit there and trade with him? So I understand he needs to win the fight. But the reason for this matchup is Figueiredo lost. He needs to defend his position. There's really nobody that I think deserves to fight up in the rankings this high than Mario Bautista per the people he's fought and beaten. So you have like Marcus McGee, Amin Zahabi have recently been added to the rankings. I think there's another one. I can't remember who it is. But I think out of all the people who are kind of the fresh faces in the bantamweight division, I think Mario Bautista probably deserves to step up in the rankings and in competition. I mean, even though he to be fair, he did face Jose Aldo and won. Wasn't super dominant. I mean, it was, but Aldo was doing pretty good on the feet. So I think this would be a great fight. You could put it on a pay-per-view. This they actually could make a Apex main event. And I don't think that would be outrageous at all. I think that would actually be a pretty solid main event. So, moving up the card, the Piotr Jan, the winner of the main event. I said moving up the card. Anyway, he calls for a title shot versus Merab, and Merab agrees with him. It's kind of weird. It almost seems like Merab is ducking Umar, and I kind of understand it. Like, I personally don't think Umar deserves a title shot. Like, yes, he has one win over a top 3 ranked at the time opponent, or 2. I can't remember what Corey said he was ranked. He was ranked he's in the top 5. I think Umar hasn't beaten anybody else, though. Let him get, all I needed was for him to get one win. If he gets one more win over anybody in the top 15, I think you can give him a title shot. But I don't think that's what the UFC is going to do. They're going to give him the title shot next versus Merab, I'm sure. Would it shock me if they did Jan versus Merab 2 if Merab is wanting to fight during Ramadan, which Umar will not fight during? That would not shock me, no. So could this matchup potentially happen? Yes. I'm going to be going under the assumption that this matchup will not be happening. And the fighter that I picked, Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley got a controversial win versus Piotr Jan in order to earn his title shot against Aljamain Sterling. I think they should run it back. Co-main event of a pay-per-view, UFC Apex Fight Night main event, whatever, really any Fight Night main event. You could do this anywhere, and this would be a big draw. But if you put it on a pay-per-view, they'd probably make more money. But I would love to go to this. So this is like a Fight Night main event somewhere. I'd love to go to that fight. And I would love to see Piotr Jan fight in person. I think what you do is you have Umar fight Merab. You have O'Malley and Jan fight. And the winner of O'Malley and Jan fights the champion. Whoever the champion is at the time, that's what you do. O'Malley needs to get a win. And Jan needs at least one more, especially if Merab is still champ. If he fights Umar and beats him, he definitely needs one more win to be able to solidify his position to fight for the belt against someone who very dominantly beat him. So these are my fights to make. What do you guys think? Would you have made any different fights? If so, let me know in the comment section down below. Make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed. Trying to get to face subscribers. Drop a like on this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.